Hello, my name is Kristof Safer, and I'm from Prague, Czech Republic, Europe. And I found a festival called VertiFilms back in 2016. So it's almost 10 years now. And it was one of the first such festivals around the world. And some people say it was the nicest one.
Can you briefly introduce that? What vertical film is?
Vertical film is a content primarily or uniquely prepared for smartphones that you hold them vertically in your hand. It is not necessarily shot by smartphones because the films we were receiving were shot by professional cameras, but it is aimed to be for the smartphones and for the daily use. Therefore, the content is short. It goes from 1 to 5, 7 minutes, and you can consume it the whole day. What I was thinking is basically a TV. It's a TV from nine o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Then you can switch to your classical horizontal TV.
You started VertiFilms back in 2016. So what made you believe this format and decide to focus on it?
Because it was something very new and unique. Somewhat, I was fascinated by the format. And also, we were lucky enough, we were showing it in a church, which is obviously narrow and tall. And we put to this church a screen, and we were showing these vertical films, which we collected from all around the world. You are right, because it was pre-TikTok time, and the Instagram then was only square photos and random videos, which were also kind of squarish. And therefore, we developed a claim which was don't be square, be verti. And we're trying to differentiate ourselves from Instagram and from this basically horizontal format.
So you see the potential of it.
I somewhat believe, because sometimes people on the edge of the artist bohemian world, they believe into strange things, which was confirmed to me by since we grow bigger and bigger. We were asking filmmakers what made a vertical film, what made them to make vertical film, and they told us it was already TikTok time. They told us they love the vertical format, like TikTok and Instagram, but they just wanted to produce a more serious film of like kind of a slightly different content that you see on the TikTok or Instagram. And they were very happy about our festival. But what I'm saying is there were filmmakers doing it. Also, I would like to support it by the Korean Producer or Directors Guild. They have a financial grants every year for any director who wants to do it to make a vertical movie. The same thing they have in Japan. Asia is always advanced, so in Asia, my belief in vertical format was confirmed because it's basically booming. Now you can see it with the short dramas.
You mentioned about the vertical films. So it's like a proper film.
It was always the short films between 1 and 1 minute. We had one which was 10 minutes. It's basically because it's comfortable to carry the phone vertically for like 10 minutes. You can do it longer, but then the phone gets warm. It's a content for when you wait somewhere. If you are in public transport, or if you wait for some appointment, or if you are just enjoying yourself on the couch. That should not be 90 minutes because, nowadays it is almost 90 minutes, but the short dramas are done in a way that you can always switch it. You can always break it and wait for the next episode.
Hi, this is Maggie Han. Want to write short drama, but feel like you can't because you are not a filmmaker. The truth is, short drama can be learned. And in China, where the short drama market makes over 7 billion US dollar a year, a lot of hits actually come from everyday people. In my course, Short Drama Writing 101, I will show you the method. One protagonist, one main task, one simple storyline. You can preview the lesson for free and start creating with us. What kind of contents have you showed so far?
It was basically, I was saying to the people, let's make no difference between vertical and horizontal films, because we receive documentaries, we receive music videos, By the way, there's a lot of music videos on Spotify, which is vertical now. We receive beautiful documentaries from all around the world about various issues, about the kidnapped kids in Latin America, how the life is on the farms in Kazakhstan. We received documentaries from Ukraine, from China, anywhere you want. And these were beautiful films. And the magic is that, as I said, when people are doing TikTok videos, they just take a smartphone and just show their family or what they do. Whereas here, people were doing it just like you are doing traditional shooting. You take a big camera, you take a sound group, sound crew, you have a director, and you have a proper editing and proper grading and everything and credits and all that. And the only difference is vertical, but the love for filmmaking is the same as for horizontal. It was also interesting to see how people were playing with the sort of disadvantages of the vertical format. Yeah, when you want to show something which is wide, the people were striping the vertical format into three stripes, for example, or something like that. Or they've been playing with the format. It was always just beautiful to watch. I loved watching it, and I was enjoying the stories because it was beautiful short stories about the life around the world.
I found that VertiFilms was hold forum or exhibition in Mexico, right?
We wanted to do a global network of such festivals. And actually, we wanted to do the app similar to Netflix, but we were thinking let's promote it through running a festivals around the world under our name. We started in Mexico, and then we were aiming or cooperating with the other countries, but we haven't succeeded. We ran in two editions in Mexico, in Tijuana, which is quite an artistic oriented, focused city. People loved it quite well, and the acceptance was good. There was no, at that time, until the short dramas or the micro dramas, there was no global hype around it. People were confusing it with the Instagram videos or TikTok videos, which is nothing wrong on it, but it was just different, slightly different genres.
From what I see, VertiFilms focus more on artistic and creative storytelling, while in China, short dramas
Yes.
are highly commercial. So they're more like fast-moving consumer content or like fast food. How do you see this difference?
If you make a content, it's good that people see it. I'm happy for the Chinese short dramas that they brought to the world because I think they are improving in quality. It might have started as a purely commercial thing, but now to succeed in a quite a big competition already, you need to have a like quality wise, story wise, or visual wise, or the way it's being done. And it's great that it's commercial because I mean, I'm happy for the success of the Chinese vertical dramas.
Do you plan to explore more commercial verticals to show in the VertiFilms?
We have to follow the world, which means that because 2 years ago we said that we need to see how we will continue with the VertiFilms. And we took a little break, and now we are preparing to join the movement of the short. I'm still trying to think if it has to be dramas. I think it should be like a short something, but there are some rom-coms. You see, there are not necessarily dramas. It's called short dramas or micro dramas. But we would like to join this, and we would like to start producing short dramas.
What's the current short drama scene like in Europe? Can you tell me a little bit about one country or religion you're familiar with?
I don't have the numbers about Europe yet, because I think it's slowly rising in Europe, but the same, it was slowly rising in China. I believe people are used to look at the success of TikTok and Instagram and other vertical apps in this content. I think some people grown up a little bit from the crazy madness, from the amounts of very short videos. They are looking for something which is more, they can relax with it because with the short dramas you can be more relaxed, you can understand the characters and you can sort of start following it. And it's basically the same thing like with the normal TV series, except it's very handy. It's right in your phone, in your smartphone, which is very intimate thing for people. So I believe it's gonna be successful in Europe. We dealing with obvious things, which is languages. Europe is 27 countries with I don't know what 20 languages or something like that. So it might be difficult to do because one thing we realized was the subtitles, the language subtitles on our films. When you have the smartphone screen, the subtitles are very small. It's not the greatly convenient thing, but with the rise of AI and with the rise of other technologies, I don't see it as a huge problem, the localization of content. I can see that people can be watching in Europe the Chinese content, the same thing as the whole world is watching the Squid Game on Netflix, right? And it comes from Korea and people are loving it and watching it. If the story is going to be interesting, then the apps can succeed in Europe.
What countries are your audience come from?
Truly global. It was just a global thing. We didn't have one country, it was China slightly by the size of it and America by sheer size of it. But we had viewers from all around the world. During the COVID time, we ran the online versions of the festival. We prepared a concept called Pocket Conference, where we asked the various vertical film creators or directors to tell us about their experience with why they did the vertical format and how they approach it. And it was a very nice thing because we were publishing it and people were just like in normal film festival where you meet people personally, where you talk with them about the films they are doing. People here were watching the other people's videos and they contacted themselves on social networks. It was quite great because then we received emails thanking us for making this actually this live forum.